Hello everyone, myself Dr. Sriparna Saha, and in this particular lecture video series we are talking about how to get started with MATLAB. There is a free source of MATLAB is there, that is named as Octave. You can use Octave to write the same functions or same codes that I am going to teach you throughout the lecture series. And if you want to go into the deeper of coding, please refer to my another playlist named as Implementation of Well-Known Algorithms Through Codes. So let's start today's video. We are already in the code 7, and on this particular day we are going to discuss about how to generate different plots in MATLAB. And today we are going to plot a circle using different functions. So the code is going to look something like that. So I am not going to use some simple function to write the circle or implement the circle plot. Just I am going to use some difficult ones so that you can understand how different functions are used in MATLAB. In the previous video, that is the code 6, we have discussed about linspace function. If you are not accustomed with this function linspace, please refer to my code 6 video. Now in this code 7, let's start from line number 6, as I hope you are already familiar with line number 1 to 3, and line number 5 that will not be executed as there is a percentage sign is there. Now in the line number 6, I have defined that is what is the radius of the circle, that I have suppose take as 5 unit. Now you need a theta value to circle, right? So the theta I have taken, that is using the linspace, and the starting value of the linearly placed elements, that is 0, and the ending is 2 into pi, right? And then how many elements I want? That is I want 100 elements. So that is in the line number 8 you can see that is the linspace, that function takes first the initial value, then after comma it takes the final value, that is the what is the highest value or the that is what is the minimum value and the maximum value of the elements will be, then comma number of elements. Now come to the line number 9. In line number 9 I am going to plot the x, that is in a circle, so it's a x and y, two variables we need. So in line number 9 it's about the x. So x is r, that star, that means multiplication with cos of theta. Now just tell me that r is one particular value element, right? R variable, that size will be 1 cross 1. Now the theta variable, what will be the size? That is 1 row 100 columns, so that is 100 elements will be there. Now cos of theta, so that means cos of theta is an element wise cos function, so that is each element value that is present in the theta, that result of that is that particular value we are taking the cos of it, so that value is the cos theta. So that only the cos theta function is going to get you 100 elements, as the theta has 100 elements. Now as the cos theta is 100 element, now I am multiplied it with a scalar variable, and this scalar multiplication is already taught to you in the previous classes. Please refer to that if you are not familiar with this scalar multiplication. I have already discussed about scalar and vector multiplications. So here now for the scalar multiplication of cos theta has 100 elements. Now I am multiplying cos theta with one particular scalar element. So scalar element is r. So r size is 1. Now 1 and multiplication with 100 elements. So resultant will be 100 elements. So size of x is 1 row 100 columns. Similar thing for y. So y is the scalar multiplication, that is r, that is scalar quantity, is going to be multiplied with a vector. Vector is sin theta, that is the thing. So sin theta will going to have 100 elements, that is sin theta itself going to generate you a 1 row and 100 column vector, right, as the theta size is 1 into 100. So y variable size will be 1 row and 100 columns. Now I am just going to plot x comma y. So as it is the plot function, so this is the first time we are going to talk about the plot function. So using the plot function you are going to generate any type of plot, and in that within the plot within the first bracket of plot, first you need to give the x, what is the value we are going to plot according to the x coordinate. Here this x and y coordinate value, that is within after the comma you need to give what are the elements you are going to plot according to the y axis. Right. Now if suppose in the previously executed any of the code, suppose in code number 6 you have plotted one function. Okay, so that plot function will be there in the figure. Now after running this particular code 7, whether that particular figure will be there or it will be cleared. Yeah, the answer is the particular figure that have been generated by any of the earlier codes, that will be cleared. Why? We have used in line number 2 the function called close all. So that is why there will be no previously generated plot. So this is the only plot that is going to be generated, or that is going to be stay in after running this particular code 7. Okay. So now then the second line number 12 you can have, that is the hold on function. So why hold on? Suppose you need to generate more than one plots, and if you are going to generate more than one plots, MATLAB has some function or has the feature something like that, one after one plot those are going to be generated, they are going to be generated within a single figure. So that is, suppose you have already generated two figures, and the first figure will be deleted and that will be submerged by the second figure actually. So that is why now one cannot check what you have already generated by the figure 1 if you do not give this hold on function. But if you give this hold on function, so that means whatever plot you have already generated, keep that, and along with that within the single figure just plot the second plot function. Okay, so that is whatever the plot I have generated by the line number 11, that will be stayed in the figure 1. Within the figure 1, that is plot 0 0 comma black, that particular will be generated. So that is plot different commands in a single plot, that is the hold on. If you do not give hold on, that is two different plots will be created. But I want the two plots that given in line number 11 and line number 12 to be in the same figure. Why? In line number 12 I am going to generate the center position of the circle. So center is obviously 0 0, so that is x axis value is 0, y axis value is 0, and just to make it in a black color, there is this within a single quotation I have written black, then star. So that is whatever you are going to plot now, plot it in the black color and just plot using the star function. Now you have an obvious question, then what will be the color of the plot that is generated in line number 11? Yeah, that will be generated in blue color. So blue is the default color of generating any plot in MATLAB. Okay. Now there is a function that I have just omitted, that is I have given percentage sign, so that is not executed currently, that is the axis equal. So what is the application of that? Sometimes you can see that is a plot you have generated that is not in the properly x and y, both the axes are not properly generated, that is there is some inclination towards x axis, the figure you have generated that has some deformed shape, the exact figure has been created but the looking or the visualization is not proper. To make it proper, there is a function called axis equal, that is if there is any deformation of the image in the visualization form, not in the creation. So created will be perfectly okay, but in the visualization you have some deformed, you can see the figure has been turned something towards the x axis, it has been or the aspect ratio is not proper one figure, that is the, if to maintain a proper aspect ratio or to have the exact aspect ratio, you need this function called axis equal. Now I have generated one figure, that is one figure has been generated as I have used hold on function, that is both the plots have been created in within a single figure. Now that figure I need to give one title, that which type of figure it is. So the title function is line number 14. Here you can see that is the within the single quotation whatever I have written, that is the string. So I have written plot a circle with radius value of 5. Okay. So then now what I have plot along the x axis, I need to give one label. So that has been done using x level and y level in line number 15 and line number 16. You can write x level first, then y level, anything you can do. Even you can first write the labeling of the axes you can done, then you can give the title of the figure. It's not going to give any another type of result, but you can, that is the line number 14, line number 15 and line number 16 can be in any order. So in the line number 15 and 16, the x and y axes has been labeled, given label, and whatever be there within the single quotation, that are the string. Okay, you can write anything. Now in line number 17 and line number 18 and line number 19, there is three functions and none of them are going to be executed currently. And what is the meaning of that? Axis of. So axis of means in the axis, in the figure you are going to see that is the axis values have been plotted. Now that is the numbering in the axis. Suppose you need to off it, so that is the axis off. Now what is the function of grid on? If you are familiar with any type of camera, you are going to see that if there is a function called grid on. So in that camera, if you put the grid on, okay, turn it the grid on, so that means the total image will be divided into grid. Suppose after plotting one particular figure, you need to check whether the figure have been properly generated or not. So how to check it, and what is the how different variables are uh, close to another variable, and what is the difference between, or to check, that is to understand the components of a figure, you might sometimes need that function called grid on. Now what is in that line number 19 legend, that I am going to discuss later on, so just keep it in this form. Now come to this workspace. So how many variables we need? We need, or we have created actually 4 variables. So R5 is a single variable. Now I have already told you, I have already explained to you rather, that why the size of theta, x and y, these 3 variables size will be 1 cross 100. I hope you don't have any doubt. So now the figure 1, that is this particular figure we are going to get. Now see, the figure is a circle, and the circle, that is the boundary of the circle, is in blue color, and the center is black star. There is the title of the figure is there, the x and y, both the labelings have been there. Okay. Now just see, in the x and y you can see that it is from minus 6 to 6, y is from minus 4 to 4. Now if you have given this axis on, that is, just see, that is the line number 17. If you have given this axis of 1, then you are going to see both, you are going to check, then both the values, that is the, for x it is minus 6 to 6, for y it is minus 4 to 4, and both the range of the x and y would have been equal. So I haven't done that. I hope you are going to take it as an assignment and do it. Okay, so I am not going to give you, just do it and check whether you are going to get the equal axes in both sides or not. Okay, so now come to this axis of 1. So okay, so sorry, I have just told you, that is, if the both the axes you want to have equal size, then it's not axis of, sorry, it is of axis equal. You need to make the or you need to remove the percentage sign from the line number 13, so then both the axis size will be equal. So that is the function axis equal. Now the axis of, so this is the figure. Now in that here you can see that is the axis values have been written. Now if you need to remove the axis from one figure, then the function is axis of. You are just removing whatever be the values have been given in the different axes. This is the axis of. Okay. Now just check the legend function. So in the legend function, I suppose in a particular figure I need to mention which is the boundary, which is the center. Suppose there is a figure you have generated by plotting different elements. So that is, you need to understand which element, and each element has been given one particular color. Now you have to understand which element is that. So you need that legend function. In the legend function, whatever be the thing you have plotted first, that you need to name first. That is within the single quotation boundary, that is a string. Okay, so that is written in the first position of the legend function. Why? In the plot function you can see that is the first plot is the line number 11. That plot xy, that is going to give you the boundary of the circle. So first plot is for boundary, second plot is for the center, as the line number 12 has been given. So in the legend function, what I need first, the whatever I have or what is the name I am going to give to the first plot. My name is boundary, so within single quotation I have written the boundary. Then it is for the center I have plotted, so it is the center. So I have talked about three different types of generating figures. So this is the first figure I have calculated. Now in this particular figure you can check that is the axis range for x and y are not equal. If you need to make them equal, you need to have the function that is given in the line number 13 axis equal. Now if one need to remove the axes, then the function is axis off. And now if you need to get the better idea, that is which value is which named, that is then this is a legend function. So this is all about today's class. Thank you everyone for investing your time, and happy studying.